So I am Dr. Tamara Ashley and I run the MA programme in dance here at the University of Bedfordshire.
My name is Michael Joseph and I would say I am a dancer foremost and then a choreographer, a tutor, a teacher.
I'm Katie Bogue, I'm a choreographer, dancer, creative, whatever you want me to be.
So for me, improvisation is very much about finding personal voice for the artist, for the mover, for the dancer. And I do that through multiple methods because students access intelligence in different ways. So do it by leading movement with different body parts. So sometimes like leading movement from, say, the elbow, and that allows the student to move in their own way, but also focus on a particular body part. So it both gives them something to focus on, but also allows them to develop their own style and their own approach to moving. Like, well, spell your name. So I might just spell my name, Tamara, which gets them moving and then might bring them into something that's a bit more open. So then you can say, okay, now try that with your elbow, try that with your knee, try that with your big toe, try that with your tailbone, try that with the top of your head. And then now try free movement with it. Give them spatial scores, so moving across the space in tram lines or moving on a grid, relating to each other in space. So if one student goes down, maybe another student comes up, so they have these level changes. And then also doing things like follow my leader. Someone might set some movement and then everyone else follows. Very simple games and exercises build confidence in personal movement style. So as we practice together, we go across the space in lines of 3 or 4 or just small groups. Because we're dancing next to each other using the same body part, we start to share vocabulary, so students can take vocabulary from each other, be influenced by one another. A facilitator, what I also ask them to do is, as we go across the space more and more times, to start to compose the space together, making decisions based on what they see the other dancers doing in terms of rhythm, in terms of space, in terms of level, in terms of timing, in terms of shape of the body. And then when we come together later in the class, when we do more open improvisations, they've already warmed up and they've got a vocabulary established that they can use with confidence in the more open improvisation practices like open jams, round robins, circles and those kinds of practices.
Especially with social dancing and especially with people of colour or the African traditions, is that things would be happening in a circle, and that's just a way of including everybody and excluding no one. So that's really important. And it's just something that just naturally happens, a circle. Same thing with capoeira as well. It's always, the roda is always done in a circle. And same thing with parties, everything's done in a circle. Not everyone knows about or does, but it's something that's very social. A good way to set ground rules, not pressurise everyone. So you can go into the circle if you want on your own, or you can go in 2s or you can go in 3s. So that's one rule. So you don't have to go in, but if you want to, always keep the circle, which is really important. Always encourage everyone, either by clapping or being vocal, say, yay, go Katie, go Katie. So things like that just really help everyone feel comfortable and feel as though they're included and not excluded. The building blocks would be like a sequence, or a simple sequence, or clapping. Keeping the circle, keeping the energy in the circle, and making sure that everybody respects everybody when they go in, no matter what moves they do. To get into a circle and then just put some music on, you listen to the music and get with the beat as well. So clapping is just, because that's something that everybody can do, and then maybe a move or 2. And then from that, you've got at least 3 elements. So 1 or 2 moves and clapping. Something that has to be simple and that they can achieve and not feel as though they're pressurized. Because I'm from a culture that always freestyles and always just dances, it's not always everyone's case. And then sometimes I might make up a sequence to do with a particular dance style, and then again encourage them to maybe do a little bit of a section in the centre as well. Stage would be maybe to get them to do something of their own, whether it's contemporary or ballet, jazz, hip-hop, whatever it is. There's certain things that people feel comfortable with. In the circle, I think it's good if the teacher goes in and expresses themselves as well, because sometimes the pupils, if they are told what to do, sometimes they're reticent or they don't want to do it. If the teacher themselves goes into the centre, even if they clap, by example, go back out again, then they'll give them the confidence to do it. Just a way of giving them building blocks and giving them confidence to go into the centre and just express themselves, because it's all about the expression.
But crump and contemporary for me are quite similar, because they're really expressive. They're really about being yourself within the movement. Crump brings that sort of like authenticity, and it's about really expressing yourself. People can relate to you about seeing something real and seeing like a person feeling real feelings on stage rather than having to pretend or put it on. Like, it's about being in the moment. So I think that can be really powerful for audiences to watch.
What's also been valued is hip-hop forms or more urban forms of dance, and because of that, not only are the ways of moving valued, but the culture that they bring are valued. And within some of those forms, there's a more community-spirited culture, there's a more collective culture, and that has started to bleed into other dance forms, so that we see more supportive behaviour within dance practice, within dance culture, that's coming from this integration and fusion of different diverse dance forms. And so for younger choreographers, they're immersed in this fusion.